Hi, beautiful soul. This is day number 5 of 100 days of emotional power. I'm Dr. Jasmine, and today I would like to talk about a topic that is extremely common, extremely painful, and yet almost invisible in daily life. And today's subject is giving too much without noticing it. Imagine a normal morning. The kind of morning that many women live every single day. You wake up, and even before your body fully wakes up, your mind starts running like a machine and saying, I need to do breakfast. I need to answer messages. I need to prepare things. I need to solve problems. I need to clean. I need to plan. I need to do everything. And what is missing from that list is you. Your feelings, your peace, your inner world, and your emotional needs. And this is where emotional power begins. Because emotional power begins when you stop living like a machine and you remember that you're a human being. Many people give too much and they don't even realize they're doing it. Because giving has become a reflex, it has become automatic, it has become their identity. And the sad truth is that many people have been trained since childhood to believe that being useful means being lovable. So they say yes quickly, they answer quickly, they sacrifice quickly, they fix quickly, they rescue quickly, and then later they wonder why they feel tired for no clear reason, why they feel irritated, why they feel emotionally drained, and why they feel heavy inside, why they feel like they're disappearing. And let me describe a very real life scene. You finally sit down with a cup of tea, you finally want 10 minutes for yourself, and exactly at that moment your child asks for something. Your partner asks for something, your phone lights up, someone sends a message, someone sends a voice note, someone needs advice, someone needs emotional support, and suddenly you feel a deep sigh inside you, not because you don't love people, but because even your 10 minutes belong to someone else. And this is a painful realization because it means your personal space has been invaded for so long that you don't even recognize your own boundaries anymore. And the truth is, giving too much is not always generosity. Giving too much is often emotional survival. Because some people give too much to avoid being judged. Some people give too much to avoid rejection. Some people give too much to avoid conflict. Some people give too much because they're afraid of being seen as selfish. And some people give too much because deep inside they believe if they stop being useful, people will stop loving them. And that belief is exhausting. I want you to think about the WhatsApp trap, because WhatsApp is one of the biggest emotional thieves of modern life. You receive a message and immediately you feel pressure. You feel like you must answer fast. You feel like you owe your energy. You feel like you owe your attention. And if you don't answer quickly, you start feeling guilt. You start thinking that people will misunderstand you, that they will think you are cold, that they will think you don't care, and this is exactly how people lose their freedom without realizing it. Because they're physically at home, but mentally they're living inside other people's expectations. And there is an even deeper type of giving, which is emotional giving. When you're always a listener, always a comforter, always a fixer, always the one who absorbs everyone's stress, always the one who tries to make the atmosphere pleasant, always the one who carries the emotional weight, and that kind of giving is exhausting because it is invisible. Nobody thanks you for it. Nobody sees it. Nobody rewards it. But it slowly drains your spirit. Let me give you another very identifiable example. You're with family, someone makes a small rude comment about your appearance, your choices, your parenting, your lifestyle, your work, or your personality, and you smile. You stay polite, you swallow the pain, but inside you feel a sting. And the person who said that comment forgets it in 30 seconds, while you carry it for hours. And this is emotional injustice because you're collecting emotional stones that other people throw. And then later, you wonder why your heart feels heavy. And many women experience this, especially in social environments like schools, where you feel the unspoken competition, where you feel the invisible evaluation, where you feel that you're being judged, and you try to smile and prove that you belong. And then you go home tired, not because you worked a lot, but because your nervous system was working too hard to earn acceptance. And today, I want you to remember one truth. Overgiving is not always love. Overgiving is often fear dressed as kindness. And the moment you see that truth, you start becoming free. Because then you can still be kind, still be loving, still be generous. But you stop bleeding energy. You stop becoming an emotional donation center. You stop being a human battery for everyone. You start giving consciously instead of automatically. And I want to give you more real life examples so you can recognize yourself. There is the person who always says, I will do it myself, not because they're controlling, but because they feel guilty asking for help, or because they fear being seen as demanding. So they carry everything alone until one day they explode. There is the therapist friend, the one who receives calls for hours, who listens to other people's chaos, and after the call ends, their mood is destroyed. Their energy is drained, but they still answer again and again because they feel responsible. There is the person who is too polite, the person who laughs when they don't find something funny, who agrees when they don't agree, who says it's okay when it's not okay. And that person is slowly erasing themselves to avoid discomfort. There is a woman in marriage who is always the emotional giver, always the one who apologizes first, always the one who repairs tension, always the one who explains, always the one who makes a relationship softer, while the other person becomes used to receiving, and slowly she feels lonely even though she is not alone. And this is why emotional power does not mean becoming rude. It does not mean becoming cold. It does not mean becoming selfish. Emotional power means you still love people, but you stop abandoning yourself. Emotional power means you still help people, but you stop destroying your nervous system. Emotional power means you still listen, but you don't absorb everything. Emotional power means you protect your energy, because your energy is your life. And emotional power looks very simple in daily life. Instead of saying yes immediately, you can say, I can help, but I need to finish something first. Or I can't do that today, or I can help later. And you say it with a normal, respectful tone, without drama, without long expectations, because your life is not an open service center. And if someone sends you a long complaint message, you can listen with kindness, but you can end the conversation when you feel emotionally full, because caring about someone does not mean carrying their chaos. And if someone criticizes you casually, you don't need to fight. You don't need to fight. But you don't also need to swallow the poison. You can simply say, I don't like jokes about the topic, or that comment feels unfair. Or you can let silence speak for you, because silence can be a powerful boundary. And I want you to remember a strong metaphor. Your emotional energy is like perfume. If you spray it everywhere all day, non-stop, it disappears quickly like perfume and becomes meaningless. But if you use it intentionally, it stays and it has presence, it has impact, and your energy is exactly the same. Because when you give it everywhere, it becomes wasted. But when you give it consciously, your presence becomes powerful and your yes becomes valuable. So today, I want you to do one simple awareness practice. Throughout your day, notice the moments when your chest feels tense, when your shoulders feel heavy, when you feel tired after a conversation, when you feel irritation for no clear reason, or when you feel that inner feeling of, I don't want to do this. Because those signals are your body reminding you that you are giving again, and even noticing it is a sign of emotional power. Because the unconscious person gives automatically, but the emotionally powerful person gives consciously. So, beautiful soul, if you have been giving too much for years, do not blame yourself, because your giving came from something tender inside you. Maybe it came from love, maybe it came from fear, maybe it came from survival. But now you're growing, now you're learning, now you're becoming emotionally strong in a quiet, intelligent way. And this is something to be proud of. If this talk touched something inside you, subscribe to this channel, because this is day 5 of 100 days to emotional power, and every day we will build emotional strength together in a real and grounded way. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Drop your comments, ideas, and questions down below. I will see you in the next video.